same situation like with the pentathlon. 3 of the athletes on that outside, those outside lanes, and then 5 on the inside. They'll stay there through 2 turns, and then break for the pole on the finishing straight. While we have a second, let's get down to John, who has the winner of the pentathlon.
And we'll make this quick because 1, there's a race going, and 2, he's been out here all darn day taking care of this thing. Congratulations on being the national champ. You were remarkably calm, okay? Not that I think you have to do backflips, but how can we just take this so in stride?
Well, thank you, first of all. I don't know, I just think that I have such high standards for myself, so like even if I jump a PB or run a PB, it doesn't excite me as much. So I don't know, I'm just calm like that. So
we'll be excited for you. Let's go quick through the event. 60 hurdles, you feel how about those?
Leading up to 60 hurdles, the warm-up was excellent. I felt really good, I felt really fast, but unfortunately on the 3rd or 4th hurdle, kind of stumbled, hit the hurdle, lost my balance a little bit, but the end result at the time was like fine.
Good. We were pleased with the high jump, yes or no?
High jump went really well for me. Yeah, like
long jump?
Finally a new PB after 3 years. I've been waiting for it.
Shot?
Shot was mediocre.
Mediocre. And
Yeah.
I know you weren't happy with your 800 time. You were disappointed.
Yeah, on the 3rd lap, I got kind of stuck behind the people, so, but it's fine.
Oh, the life of a pentathlete and a multi-event athlete. Dwight, back to you. 10 points for the defending champs. That's a great start. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, John, congratulations to her as we get back to the women's mile. First of 2 heats. They are qualifying the first 4 finishers automatically to tomorrow's final, then the next 2 fastest times over the 2 heats. They're looking for a 10-woman final, which means they're just dropping 6 of the athletes who qualified to be here.
And they were very conservative early on. You're really seeing the pace quicken here on that last lap. One athlete to watch as you're looking at that top 3 there, the athlete with the 5 on her hip, the purple and white of the University of Washington. That is Chloe Forrester. She has made 5, this is her 5th NCAA track championship appearance, 8th national meet if you count cross country. So very well experienced in these championship racing situations. They're now 73 seconds through that last 400 after previously being at 77.
So a pedestrian pace early on. We saw them bunching up. 2:30 at the half mile, so you can see it's very tactical, and it's really about getting in those top 4 automatic positions. And this is an advantage for the second heat. If this heat goes slowly, then the athletes who finish 5th and 6th have a good chance of advancing into the final. But things are definitely heating up, quickening up. There's enough space for the athletes to run now.
Starting to get a little concerned about Bila Jepkarui of Oklahoma State right there. You saw her make some contact. She is too tightly packed in the middle of that heat. She's going to have to break out and get around to give herself an opportunity to take control of this race. Sadie Engelhardt a little bit trapped there on the inside rail as well, as you're seeing Kaya Robertson moving well from Boise State.
It's Berlin Schutz, the junior from Nebraska, who's been leading the last couple of laps with Forrester of Washington right there on her shoulder. Jepkarui, again, some contact, and that does take it out of you. Aside from the fact that it wakes you up and makes you more conscious than you probably want to be, those little hits and nicks and moving out and break stride, that does take energy. And she's going way wide in the turn to try and have some free space to run in.
Really needs to take advantage of this straightaway opportunity that you have to put yourself into position before the bell.
And she gets herself into 3rd position with some space to run. That's Haley Burns on the inside for NAU. She's been on that rail the entire time in a little bit of a box.
32 seconds on that last 200 meters coming into the bell lap.
Jepkarui wants that lead, and she drops in the turn to get it. That is Sadie Engelhardt, who also came from the middle of the pack and has put herself in a position to get one of those automatic qualifying spots. Here's the bell. Oh, there's that, sorry, the finish. 4:38.61, so they really quickened up the second half mile. They were on 5-minute pace through the half mile. 62.6 for the last 400 meters. So Engelhardt and Jepkarui get through easily, but Jepkarui had a much tougher time of it, I would say, Laura.
just the way she had to navigate through a lot of traffic there. Engelhart really well executed. She was comfortable in the back, let herself kind of get pulled along, and really a lot more of the traffic happening out in front of her, and then decisively made a great move there in the closing stretch. You can see just her strength really come into form over that last 100 meters. Look at how relaxed she is. Bilajep Karui really digging deep for that kick to get the win in that opening heat, but comfortably through Engelhart and Bilajep Karui when you look at the times that they've run comparative to what they had to run to qualify.
So it's all about making the final. There were the official results there for a moment. The top 4, again, they automatically qualify. So Engelhart, Jepkuri, Schutz, and Burns are automatically through. Forrester and Robertson have to hope that this next heat also goes slowly and that their finishing times will qualify by time. Second heat runners are getting ready. There is Vilma Nielsen of Oregon, and of course Sweden, the west coast of Sweden, Göteborg, where my family is from. Just a personal note, she's the Big Ten mile champion from a couple of weeks ago.
She's also the defending champion in this event and one of 3 ducks. You see her teammate Juliet Cherubet there on the inside of the track. We have Shalana Yildiz, who had a heavy workload at the Big Ten championships, so they'll all look to try to help one another through onto the final. And then you have Riley Chamberlain in this heat as well. We mentioned her at the top of the show, the collegiate record holder in this event, having run 4:20.61 just earlier this season.
Mile has really heated up over the last few seasons, Laura. I mean, look at this graphic and look at how many entries we have over the last 3 seasons.
And you think about this, from 2023 to now, 16 women have bettered or tied Jenny Behringer's collegiate record that she set in 2009. More than half of those athletes are here at the NCAA championships. Texted Jenny to ask her just about the depth and the strength of the mile talent. She said that it's just unreal how much depth we have seen in the middle distances. She said watching the fields get stronger, she's so proud, and she's also intrigued by how much more depth of talent we're seeing. It's really exciting, especially when you think about many of these women have still their best years of development even ahead of them.
Women's middle distance in this country has really come on strong the last decade. Definitely a force to be reckoned with at the Olympics and World Championships as well. And speaking of World Championships, World Indoor Championships are next week in Poland. As we look at the competitors here, there's 10 again, 8 in this race. They're looking for 10 in the final. First 4 automatically qualifying. The qualifying last year was faster. It took 4:35 to get through. First heat went in 4:38.
Nielsen among those athletes who are planning to compete at the World Indoor Championships as well, coming off NCAAs. As you can see, her teammate Juliet Cherubet is there up front, the Big Ten 3,000 meter champ. Riley Chamberlain has done a great job of positioning herself right on the shoulder of Cherubet. I talked with Coach Diljit Taylor at BYU, and she said that Riley has really showcased her range over the last year. She said it's the best range in the NCAA that she has seen. She said it last summer when Riley Chamberlain went sub 2 minutes in the 800, and Diljit said that they've really been working on building that strength, and now she has this weekend where she can really tap into that much strength, given how well she's also running cross country. I believe she was 4th at the NCAA cross country championships in the fall.
66 seconds for the first 400 or 440 yards, 11 seconds faster than heat number 1. So if I'm 5th and 6th from heat number 1, I'm not too happy. I'm probably watching this race from the stands as Riley Chamberlain continues to push the pace. Oregon with 3 runners in here. Wouldn't they just love to get them all through? If they stay where they are now, they would all get into the final tomorrow.
Doing a great job of working together, and while we see the 3 of them packed together, Shalana Yildiz, she had, I mentioned, a heavy workload at Big Tens. She's going to be a workhorse for them yet again this weekend with a number of events that she has qualified into, and her coach Shalane Flanagan said of the 28 points she scored at the Big Ten championships with her wins in the mile and the 5K and then a second place finish in the 3K, if Shalana Yildiz had been a team, she would have placed 10th at the conference meet just on her points alone.
67.4 for the second 440 yards. Cherubet now taking the lead over Chamberlain. Nielsen is right there protecting her position. also right there controlling things. 3 Oregon runners in the top 4.
Riley Chamberlain looking incredibly comfortable as we have Rosemary Longisa has now put herself in good position, as has Florida freshman Claire Stegall.
Things are going to start getting serious here soon for those automatic qualifying spots. The other athletes in the field have to know that this pace is quicker than heat number 1, so finishing 5th and 6th, a pretty good bet they will get through on time.
And this is where Riley Chamberlain can really tap into that strength she has, that ability to dig. I can see her coach Diljit Taylor down here right by the finish line, kind of shouting out some commands, because she has sub 2-minute 800-meter speed, but she also has sub 15-minute 5,000-meter strength and endurance. So when she decides to throw in that kick, she certainly is able. Meanwhile, Ducks packed together. Man, they have been very strong, really taking command and leading this race the entirety of the way. But Riley Chamberlain looks really relaxed. Longisa now really kicking in and making a threat for those top 4.
Third 440 was in 69.7, so they really slowed things down in anticipation of this last lap. A group of 6 in the lead. They probably should all get through to the final, because this heat is going so much quicker than heat number 1. But you would like a little assurance, and that is Rosemary Longisa of Washington State and Kenya, the sophomore. She is leading now going into the tape, but these top 6 are almost assuredly through, as 440 was the bubble time, and all 6 of those athletes are under that.
You can see the awareness of Ayildiz from Oregon to kind of glance around a few meters before the finish to be sure that she had enough assurance around her as they close. Sub 65 second last 400 meters, clocking 64.8 thanks to a big surge there over the last 2 laps. Significantly faster, Dwight, than that first heat that we saw. And really, that's a credit to especially Longisa, with how she kicked over the bell lap and forced the rest of the field to go with her and throw in that big surge really down the backstretch. There you see the glance around by Ayildiz, comfortable close for Chamberlain, and then Claire Stegall as well. Saw her at the SEC Championship, 2nd in this event. She's going to get herself a spot into the final in her first NCAA meet.
So 3 Oregon Ducks through into the final. Huge scoring opportunities on Saturday for the Ducks. There are the official advancing to finals. Those are 8 or 10 of the athletes you will see. It took 438 to get through this year. And when we come back to the Randall Tyson Track Center, the men will do the exact same thing. 2 heats of the men's mile ticket qualifiers for tomorrow's final when we return.